Today we are going to show you how to install a Gypframe exposed ceiling grid with Gyprex lay-in tiles. For the purposes of this video and demonstration, a Gypframe D38FR T-bar grid will be used. Please note that the installation steps for any other ceiling grid profile might differ slightly. Please ensure that you have the correct protective wear because safety comes first. You will need the following tools. Ensure that you have the following components which are required to install this system. In order to preserve the product quality, you need to ensure that you are handling it correctly. Avoid leaning the product boxes against walls or stacking them on top of one another. The box should be placed flat on the ground when removing the product from it. Now that we have all the components, tools and PPE, we can begin with the installation. Firstly, you will need to determine the required ceiling height using a measuring tape. Measure the specified height from floor to ceiling and mark it using a builder's pencil on the wall. Use the laser leveling equipment for determining a straight and level line. Measure the length of the line and, should it be necessary, cut the Gyprock M6 wall angle to that length. For the main T and wall angle 3.6 meter, it is ideal to have two people handling the product, one on each end for maximum support. Now, position the wall angle on the level line and fix the wall angle to the wall using the Gyprock sharp point screw. Start at the center and move outward in 300 mm intervals. In instances where the room is not square, which is often the case, a manual grid squaring process will be required. First, we have to determine the reference point. Measure 400 mm from the corner and mark it on both walls. Next, connect the building line from the opposite ends of the wall, creating intersecting building lines. Starting from the reference point, make a mark on the wall in 1200 mm intervals until the last fitting 1200 mm. We can then continue to the second step in the squaring process. So how do we create a perfect square? We use the 3-4-5 squaring rule. Mark the point where the building lines intersect as point A. From this point, measure 1200 mm on one line and mark it point B. Then, from point A, measure 900 mm on the other building line and mark it point C. The 3-4-5 rule dictates that the distance between point B and C should be 1500 mm when square. Adjust either building line to achieve this ratio. The next step is to provide a grid suspension. Start by fixing the first hanger to the soffit, no more than 400 mm from the wall. Continue fixing hanger straps at every 1200 mm interval. Cut the hanger straps to the right length as required to ensure a level grid runner. Cut the main T's to the required length. Ensure that the first T is mitered on one side. Fix the first main T along the first 400 mm reference point. Fix the following main T's in 1200 mm intervals, as previously marked. Now that the main T span is measured, fix each hanger strap to the series of main T's using Gyprock wafer head tech screws 13 mm. To ensure that the grid is steady, fix the first Gypframe D38FR main T to the wall using a Gyprock angle cleat. Do this on both ends of the main T span. Now the Gypframe D38FR cross tee is ready to be clipped in. Start by fixing the first cross tee to the first apertures in the adjacent main tees. Continue fixing the cross tees at 600mm intervals until the grid is complete. Now that the grid is complete, it is ready for the Gypframe 9mm ceiling tile to be laid in. Please ensure that it is either 600 by 600mm or 1200 by 600mm tiles to ensure a correct lay-in. For more information on this and other Gyprock products, please visit our website at www.gyprock.co.za.